We squat the pickup.
Jill wasn't awake. She is now.
Let's put the pickup to the ground. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is our next episode of Hunting Overtime Podcast. You got your two hosts here, Eric and Brian. And, I don't know, we actually just got done shooting some rifles. And Eric's back to some prairie dogs.
Some prairie dogs flying.
And, we're just going to talk to you a little bit. We missed our November episode because November is wild and we were hunting. And we hope you were too anyway. So, we're going to fill this one in. This is kind of our November podcast, but we are doing it in December. And then we'll roll another one out here later in December for things that happened here. So, let's just talk a little bit about today because that was just kind of cool. Other than, I wish we had paper to get my AR sighted in.
Yeah.
I'm shooting a 223 Wild AR style rifle, and we had a gong, but we didn't have paper, and we had it on the gong at 50 yards, and we thought we kind of did it 100. We just kind of need some paper, but I don't know. We'll figure it out later. It's close enough at 50 yards to kill a coyote, so I'm not too worried about that. But then Eric's was hitting. But what were you shooting for a rifle when you're shooting those prairie dogs?
A Bergara 243. I think it's the B14 Hunter. And it's definitely on.
It's definitely on.
I think I went 10 for 11 on prairie dogs.
Yeah, and smacking them they flip 4 feet in the air. It's pretty sweet. But what we're going to do here is we're going to tell you a little bit about our deer season. We both killed bucks this year, and geez, I can't even remember yours, so you're going to have to tell all about your story, and I'll kind of fill everybody in with mine. But why don't we just go ahead? I don't think we're going to spend a whole lot of time here. We're going to have a super long one like we did last time. When we have guests on and stuff, we obviously go a lot longer, but we're going to get you in and out and get you some info, and then we'll get you another one here in December, and we'll try to get another guest on. So just tell us, kind of, Eric,
So I spent over 2 weeks straight whitetail hunting in Nebraska, and it was slow for a while. Saw a couple big deer really far away. Then I'd been seeing this 8-point that was coming in, and one evening he finally came into 46 yards about 5 minutes before shooting light, which also Brian doesn't know about because I haven't even told him the actual story yet, because I think I texted you in the morning that I killed him.
I honestly don't even remember.
I shot him in the last 5 minutes of light on a Sunday night, and I didn't know where I hit him, I'm gonna be honest, because it was so dark, and my brothers were there and they had to get back to school. So I completely lied to them, told them I didn't even shoot because they were 100 yards, probably 200 yards farther down from me. So I didn't tell them, went back to my camper. Don't think I slept for 1 second because I didn't know if I was going to find him, and took my dog out there the next morning and found him about 50 yards from where I shot him. So I'd actually hit him good.
Perfect. And what broadhead did you run through him?
I shoot the Levi Morgan 100 grain Swacker, the blue one.
Nice.
I've had good luck with those. And
how far was that deer?
47 yards.
That's a poke on a whitetail, dude.
It is. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous. I was shaking worse than ever.
Where'd you end up hitting him at?
I hit him high heart, lung area.
So you
smoked him.
That's sweet.
And had no idea.
And we didn't actually, you shot more than I did. We didn't shoot our bows as much as we wanted to, but we did shoot enough where we were confident. So it's not like 47 yards is not a far shot for us. It's just in general, it's a far shot on a whitetail.
Yeah. It was nice knowing that he didn't know I was there, so that made it better. And yeah. I don't think I told him, but it was about a 138-inch 4x4. Roughly. So a very respectable deer.
Did you shoot any does this year? I can't remember.
My brother shot one.
So he shot his first deer. That was his first deer with
the
bow,
his
right?
first deer with the bow. And then Isaac shot one a decent buck with a rifle. So
Sweet. Yep, that's right. Did you kill anything else this fall?
that, nope.
I don't think so. You didn't shoot an antelope. You didn't have a tag.
Nope, should draw next year.
So I killed that antelope. I think we talked about my antelope kill on the last podcast. I can't remember. Oh, we might not have because we had Tyler on the last podcast. But I shot that antelope in... When did I call you? Was that August? Must have been August. Maybe it was September. Anyways.
It was late September.
Anyways.
I'm pretty sure.
If we haven't told you guys this story, it's kind of funny. I was sitting in an antelope blind and I had shot this antelope. Well, actually, I hadn't even shot it yet, but I texted Eric and they have a walk-in cooler. I said, how long does it take the walk-in cooler to get ready? And this doe was coming into the water tank. She hadn't even came yet. And I don't even remember what you said to me. Not very long.
I said not very long, and then I think I said, where did you go hunting without me?
I think you said, why would you kill?
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically I checked on the walk-in cooler before I even shot this antelope because I was pretty confident she was coming, and smacked her. She didn't go very far. And then I didn't really hunt. I'm trying to remember what I even did after that. I didn't deer hunt a whole lot after that. But I ended up I was elk hunting. That's what it was.
Yep.
I was elk hunting with my brother. But I went back rifle season, and actually I didn't hunt rifle. I hunted with a bow, but went back to a family place in eastern Nebraska, and it's a real special place to my brother and my dad and uncle and I. It's where my dad and my uncle shot their first deer. It's where Tyler and I both shot our first deer. And we had a lot of good bucks. I was sending you, we had some dang good bucks on camera.
5 or 6 different shooters.
5 or 6 shooters. And the one I ended up shooting actually wasn't any of the deer that I had been sending you. But it's a respectable, it actually comes in at a 10-pointer. It does have those, those G4s, but nothing crazy, like it's probably 100, maybe 120 inches. It's not huge, but
one of those deer where you knew you were limited on time.
Well, that's the thing is I wasn't
respectable deer.
Yeah, it's a very good deer. Very happy with it. I didn't have a ton of time to hunt this year. Just the way things worked out. I spent time elk hunting, doing other things, so I just didn't have a lot of time to sit in the stand, especially 6 hours from home. And it had actually been a really slow morning. We had only seen 2 does before that and 1 coyote. So we'll kind of start there, but the 2 does came through walking along a river, and that coyote, they must have came through. That coyote must have bumped him because he came right on their trail. And so this coyote was coming, and I didn't even have my bow off the bow hanger yet, and he was walking along the river, and it was like he was probably 43, 44 yards along the river, and I wasn't going to waste an arrow on a coyote at 43 yards.
Coming from me who shot a coon with my bow.
Yeah. But so I wasn't too worried about it, and then Tyler says, "Are you going to shoot it?" And I was like, well, yeah, I guess. And then it turned and started coming back towards us, and when it came back towards us, I was like, okay, now this is going to happen. So it came in and actually ended up at about 20 yards. And I sent one right through it. Oh, you woke up. My daughter was taking a nap. She's awake now. We're doing a podcast video. You want to just go hang out over there for a little bit?
You can go inside if you want.
You can
it's warmer in there.
Go sit inside for a little bit. Huh? Go see what you can find while we finish this up, okay, babe? Anyways, so I zipped one through that coyote, and what's really crazy about it, and I don't know if I've told you this yet either, this video should be dropping here. This podcast is probably going to drop pretty close to when this video comes out. But the very next clip is this deer. So I shot the coyote, and the very next clip we have on camera is the deer that I shoot. So like it all happened real fast, but I don't even remember what time I shot it. It was probably like pushing 11 o'clock when this deer came in, maybe 10 o'clock. But so my brother and I were sitting like back to back, okay, and so I was facing south, he was facing north, and I'm just looking and looking. He goes, "Buck, buck, buck, buck. You decide, you decide." And I'm like,
Decide
shoot.
what?
Like, I was like, okay. So I'm standing like this, and if you're just listening, you're not gonna see this, but I'm standing like this, facing south, and I'm looking over my right shoulder, and I'm like, I don't see it, I don't see it, I don't see it. And then I hear a stick break, and it was on the other side, and I turned back and I looked over my left shoulder, and that deer was just like this, just staring at us at 15 yards. And he stared at us for a second and didn't bother us. I didn't even have my bow in my hand yet. I had to grab my bow. So he puts his head down, takes a couple steps. I grab my bow. He pins us again. Isn't too worried, but I just stand there like, it's one of those where it's like hard because like I have my bow off my hanger, but my arm's fully extended. So I'm holding my bow full with an arm fully extended. It's getting heavy. Puts his head back down, turn, and I draw. And I don't know your theory on it. If a deer is close enough, like if a deer's within 20 yards, I don't stop them.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's what we agreed on, I think, the last time we talked about that.
And I don't know, that's a kind of a hot topic for a lot of people. Some people don't agree with that. My brother would stop him every time. Mm-hmm. But my theory is at 20 yards, my arrow is releasing so fast and getting to that deer so fast, if he's not alerted that I'm there,
he won't drop as soon, ideally.
He's not going to drop.
Yeah.
His adrenaline isn't going to start pumping immediately like it would if he was sensing danger.
Yeah.
Like, even if he doesn't get dropped, I still feel like there's some science behind if they know that there's a threat, their adrenaline is higher.
And I think that's one of the reasons my deer only ran 50 yards is because I could have stopped him at about 40. Or I just let him walk a little ways, and luckily he stopped on his own, and that might have helped.
Yeah.
With how far he ran.
Yeah. Are you cold? But yeah, I totally agree. Like, just keeping that adrenaline down. I mean, just think about it for yourself. Like, if you, for example, your adrenaline on your deer
was a lot higher than yours.
Was probably a lot higher than mine.
Because I could see mine coming for 300
exactly.
yards.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, it's not any different for them. Like, you knew yours was coming.
Yours was, there's a deer I'm about to shoot.
I mean, I have 10 seconds of video footage.
Yeah.
From me shooting my buck. From the time that buck is on camera to the time I shoot is about 10 seconds. I mean, we have more because then we can see it and we can see it run and we see it die and we see all that. So the clip's longer, but 10 seconds from the time that deer came out to the time that I released the arrow. And that's, I grab my bow, I get my bow, he pins us, he looks back, I draw, he walks, I shoot. Like, that's 10 seconds. Yours.
Mine was, I don't know if everyone gets like that, but if I can watch deer for 300 yards, like, standing was a struggle as I was shooting.
And see, mine didn't kick in until after I had shot. But I think that's I think it's the same thing, my opinion, on a deer, is that if I can keep their adrenaline down and not let them know that there's a threat there, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to do that out to 30, 40 yards. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, obviously, if he's walking quickly, you have no choice.
Yeah,
but
yeah, exactly. But at 20 yards and in, I'm not stopping a deer. Yeah. And that's my opinion, right or wrong. Maybe you guys agree with me, maybe you don't. Or with us. Sounds like we're both on the same page. Maybe you agree with us, maybe you don't. But that's kind of our theory on it. And so I didn't stop him. And he was, here's to add to it, he was quartered away. But I sent it right inside the back rib. And it went right through everything. I was probably a touch back. It was a full pass through. It came out right behind his front shoulder on the other side. So I was probably a little bit back. He wasn't quartered super hard, but I went right through the goodies. You can see on camera, actually, I got super nervous because he stopped. He ran probably 50 to 75 yards, and then he stopped, and he just stood there, and then he took off again. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed, or I didn't hit him vital. I thought maybe I hit too far back. But when you watch it on camera, he's standing there when he stops. There's blood coming from his mouth, and as he runs away, you can see he turns at an angle, and you can see it coming out of his mouth, and then you can see it pumping out the side of him. And then if you listen really close, you can also hear him going.
Yeah,
so
he was done.
He was done. I don't know if I double lunged him or not, but I definitely single lunged him, and he went and on camera just get him toppling over. So that was pretty sweet. But that was actually the most special thing about this, and I wish I should have brought this. If we'd have known we were doing this is kind of a spur of the moment podcast, but if we'd have known, I'd have had the antlers, so we could show you guys if you're video watching this. But maybe that can be our next podcast. We can get some sheds together or some mounts together, or Euro mounts or something.
Mine off at Allard's.
To
get mounted. So.
Nice. Are you doing a shoulder on it?
Yep. I decided
you
to.
Committed. Oh yeah. That's a whole other theory. Another topic we should talk about is Euro or shoulder. So a lot of people are hit or miss, but yeah, that buck was the first deer that I'd ever killed with my brother. So that was kind of cool. That was kind of a special buck for me. But so what do we got coming up? Well, we got to get Chad on the podcast because he killed 2 mule deer,
a giant elk, and really a pretty dang big antelope too. Yeah, forgot about that.
So he had a heck of a season. We need to get him on, and so he can kind of tell us all about that. But we're trying to work on figuring out how to run the video podcast through with a
mics through the computer with other people on
with a guest. I couldn't even think. With a guest. We're trying to figure out how to get the video podcast rolling with a guest, so you don't only see us, but you see the guest as well. It just didn't work out with Tyler. The audio didn't sync with his video and stuff like that. So I got to figure that out and see if there's a way I can do that. If any of you are listening and you know how to do that, please let us know. But otherwise, we'll work on figuring that out for you. But I don't really know how long we're at. We're probably at 15-20 minutes is all. But we're going to wrap it up there, I think, unless you have anything.
That's about it.
Have you tried? I shot at a coyote yesterday. Did I tell you that? I hit him, but I think I hit him back and he got away. He was biting at his backside, and he went onto the neighbor's land and we couldn't chase him. But I'd like to get out doing some coyote hunting too. I went with Brooke that one night, but
goose hunting should start ramping up.
Yeah, I've killed 70 birds.
Seriously?
Yeah.
We're at 15
and by
total.
I mean we.
Yeah.
We, as in when I go hunting, we've killed 70 birds. I don't remember.
It's a pretty good start.
Yeah, I think we're at we were at 17, so we're at 24 geese. So then what is that? 46 ducks. So yeah, it's been pretty good. Once Christmas break hits, I plan to be up there a little bit more. Yeah, so but we need to do some coyote hunting too. But you gotta work and I don't, so that makes it a lot harder. Yep. So anyways, we're gonna roll out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, on the Seasons Media YouTube channel, please make sure you go to like your Apple Podcast, Spotify, whatever it is, and subscribe to us there. That helps us. Provide us some feedback. If you want to comment down below, that's a huge help. You can always hit that subscribe button. That would also be very helpful. And then you can get notifications not just for our podcast here from the Seasons Media YouTube channel, but also the videos that we're rolling out. And we're rolling them pretty hard in December. I think our schedule is actually every 3 days we're rolling out a new video. So we got some elk rolling out right now. Then our whitetails coming out. So we got some good stuff coming out for you here in December. And we do have a pretty sweet announcement coming up. I don't have all the details hashed out, but come the fall of 2023,
Brian and Chad are up to things.
It's going to be pretty sweet. So I'm gonna leave you with the cliffhanger there for now. I'd like Chad to be on the podcast kind of when we talk about that, but it's gonna be a pretty sweet fall, I think. And based on the phone call we had about 3 hours ago with Chad, things are really falling into place, and they're going to be exactly what we're planning. So we got that coming the fall of 2023. We're also going to do the Seasons Media is putting on a North American Hunting Challenge this coming year. So stay tuned for that. There's some prizes from some sponsors that's going to be pretty sweet, and I think it could be a really fun challenge for guys and gals across the nation. Who just want to kind of get in on something, get a chance to win some prizes. It's going to be score-based, but you do get points for literally anything you shoot that is a North American game animal. So we're going to base that off of the Boone and Crockett scoring for the most part, but you'll still get points if you shoot a doe or you shoot a cow elk or something like that. Waterfowl all counts. Any fowl counts. Predators count. So stay tuned for that. I have a lot of that set up already. We're still working on getting more sponsors, but we have some on board, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. So we're going to roll that out in 2023 as well. So, you got anything else?
I don't think so.
It's getting kind of chilly.
It is getting chilly.
I kind of need another layer. So.
Nebraska weather.
Yeah. And yeah, we're supposed to get like a foot of snow.
At least in the next
3
days.
Yeah. So it was 53, 55 degrees here today, so we went and shot some rifles and did that, but the snow is moving in, and that's Nebraska for you. So anyways, thanks for listening. If you're listening, if you're watching, we really appreciate you watching as well. Stay subscribed or get subscribed. Visit the Seasons Media website, theseasonsmedia.com. Find us on Instagram at the Seasons Media. The Hunting Overtime podcast doesn't have a specific Instagram account because that's just another one for us to run. But make sure you find all that through the Seasons Media, and we'll post it all through there. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. We don't have any specific closer.
No,
because we
need to really think
yeah,
about
we need to think about that. We're just not cool enough yet. So if you got any ideas for us, give us some lame closers, and maybe we'll close with some of them. We'll see you guys next time.